think that's what Ciroc is about, when friends get together and it's about your inner circle. So it's called Step Into the Circle is the tagline for the campaign.
We're continuing our coverage of Sean Diddy Combs. Just about an hour ago, the hip-hop mogul was denied bail and taken into custody after pleading not guilty in federal court.
Diddy couldn't have done all those crimes alone. If you're rolling in circles with big names like Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye, and even Stevie J, people know things. This isn't just some underground operation. Diddy has been surrounded by major power players, and it's hard to believe that nobody saw anything. These are the same people who have been at his parties, flown on his jets, and rubbed elbows with him at every industry event.
You can't do anything right now without talking about Diddy. Diddy is today everywhere. Diddy denied bail after pleading not guilty to sex trafficking crimes. Racketeering charge. The judge ruled that there were no conditions that could ensure public safety due to the private nature of the alleged crimes, emphasizing the weight of the evidence against him. Diddy's legal team plans to appeal. His lawyer saying he is innocent. He's not afraid of the charges. We're going to stand by his side. Diddy offered a $50 million bond, surrendered passport, and proposed home detention, but the USDA deemed him a flight risk with a decades-long history of violence. The indictment alleged Diddy ran a criminal enterprise through his companies using firearms, threats of violence, coercion, and sexual abuse to control victims. Authorities seized freak-off supplies and weapons during raids, revealing disturbing details about Diddy's alleged abuse. They said, what did they find? The amount of stuff they found on the place, which was ridiculous.
100 bottles of baby oil.
50 Cent trolls Diddy and his 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil found in a federal raid. He took a shot at Diddy after his longtime rival was arrested on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He says the In The Club rapper 49 posted a picture on Instagram from his appearance on the Drew Barrymore show and made a crack about $1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil that were seized by Homeland Security at Combs' home back in March. Here I am looking good company with the Drew Barrymore 50 Cent caption alongside a snap of himself on Drew Barrymore 49. So what do you think about all this stuff, Vinny?
Well, first of all, I mean, dude, it was only a matter of time. How much stuff do we have to see from the past? And I hate when Tom, what's it called? The statute of limitation, when the time...
It's like statute of limitations on certain crimes. Yeah. Once it expires, you cannot be prosecuted.
We saw, besides all the dirty, freaky stuff that we heard, which whatever, he's a freak. We've heard about the rumors from the hip-hop world. But the video of him grabbing that girl, dragging her, beating the hell out of her, and nothing happened to him.
The hotel video.
The hotel video. Wow. So lingerie, according to federal source, he said that as bad as Epstein, this federal source said, and one of the Department of Homeland Security agents who helped raid Diddy's Florida home claimed that the mogul had rooms that were clearly just dedicated, rooms, plural, for sex. And he said, so if you were in these sex parties, you were being recorded from every possible angle, including angles that you wouldn't even know about because they were hidden. And he said days long, they called them freak-offs, where he drugged up victims and they were allegedly forced to sleep with male prostitutes. I sent you this video. I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen these videos that are just surfacing from Diddy. This is Diddy of him at a party and what he does to his guests at his parties. Check this one out. Look what he does. Look at him, Adam. Is this during the sun? The sun is out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
Look, that guy is just...
It's so unfortunate. You gotta pull back, though, so they can see.
Like, you're proud of that?
That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look. What you feel about that?
It was a surprise to me, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, when you see Puff, it's kind of a surprise. But like I told my brother, man, you know, he was telling me he don't think Puff gonna get locked up. I say, bitch, they got Chapo. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you earlier, they got Chapo. They could put Chapo under the ground. They could hire Puff. But it's just long overdue. Like, for a while, it made me kind of question, like, damn, you know. It's to the point where it felt like they forced the feds to do their job. He forced the feds to do their job, because if they didn't do it, everybody looking at them like, what, do you motherfuckers exist? You know what I'm saying? Like, he done got away with too much, but you gotta understand this, right? A lot of stuff Puffy going through, and I don't wish bad on him. Like, before this transpired, I had a lot of hatred toward him, but it was about financial reasons. When it comes to this subject, it's very sensitive to me because there's a lot of victims in here.
Let's talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z for a minute. They've been at the top with Diddy for years. You can't be that close and not catch a whiff of something shady going down, especially when rumors about Diddy's connections to darker dealings have been swirling for ages.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's still somebody's father. You know what I'm saying? So, but we make our own bed, man. And for a long time, a lot of people, I want him to understand that a lot of people was hurt because you couldn't live your truth. Everything he going through right now is because he couldn't let go. He couldn't let go having a position of power over street niggas and also being who he is. The more who he was, he had to show more aggression. That's like when I sucked my thumb. When I grew up, the reason people might think I'm tough and right is transpired because when I was in a place to sucking my thumb, I knew I had to go extra hard for you to know not to play with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it made me turn into somebody else because you might take a perception of me sucking my thumb. You might think I'm soft. You might think I'm gay, anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like with him. If people know his secrets, because believe one thing about it, you know, and that's with all these rappers. Somebody know your secrets. You might be you and Puffy get, you know, because Puffy, I can imagine he approached these guys who going through financial situations, these rappers who get themselves start making a lot of money. Then when things don't be hot no more, you fall back on people like him. He prey on you, and what he do is he offer you things to keep up a lifestyle. You can imagine Puppy Playboy. You know, Playboy, don't worry about that, man. I can get us, come with me to the island, Playboy. Come chill with me. Won't be no security guards, no nothing. Won't nobody know about your business. Hey, don't worry about that. I'll wire that, Playboy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of rappers out here that got secrets because they fell into them situations with Puffy. And I know this personally. Like, I know personally, but like I say, a lot of stuff that I know, like I knew a lot of stuff that came out this week we was talking about. I was like, man, I been knew that. I been knew about the girl that came out. She was just afraid to tell her story for a long time. Like I knew, when you're in a circle, like the band is like a, you know what I'm saying? So things that transpired in their band, because they work with people that we worked with, you know what I'm saying? It gets back to us. And not only that, I done been on a phone call and hear people explaining their situations. It's crying about, you know, situations. And it only gonna get worse. Like I was telling people, like it's hard to say because I don't want to spoil what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this. Like I said, it gets deeper and deeper, and the more that come out, the more intriguing the story gonna be. All I want to tell people is, when that Netflix series come out, it's a rapper coming out with a Netflix series. I won't say no name. I don't want to spoil it for him. I'm not a friend of his. I don't want to, you know, spoil something he got going on. But I will say this: he's doing a phenomenal job to the point where I was in awe. You get what I'm saying? I was presented the opportunity to work with him, but you know, like I said, the money wasn't enough for me to leave my couch. But he doing a phenomenal job, man. There's so many people that's hurt behind this. There's so many people that got it's guys that can't come out because of their image. You know what I'm saying? That'll make your eyes go like, whoa. I know about the slams, the Stevie J's. I know I'm in a circle. I know about y'all. Y'all confirmed. You don't got, but see, even with Stevie J, you know, when you got secrets out there of a lifestyle and you know the lifestyle you really living, it's a community out there that really know you. You can't hide from them. You could come play tough to us because we don't hear nothing about it. We don't hang around the same crowds. They know you. They know what you and Puffy was going on. Not just Stevie J. I'm just saying anybody. If you're in that community and you trying to hide something, you could hide it from the street dudes and the thugs and the regular, but they know you. And that's what a lot of rappers was facing. That's why a lot of them can't defend themselves. You hear them, they be, they can't really say no because they know somebody know you. Somebody know for a fact. Somebody was there with y'all. Somebody he confided in, like as a best friend. You know what I'm saying? That know these rapper secrets. You can imagine being propositioned by Puffy like that, though, right? Like, you f***ed up. And he could fly you to a private island and get rid of the security and give you, wire you $1 million or 20. Or make sure that you get this endorsement deal. That's how easy it is for him to gain leverage over people. Come on, man, you got 1,000 bottles waiting. What, 10,000, 5,000, some shit like that? My boy, that's a lot of back busting. You hear me? That's too much. I was like, wait, what? It's like you ran a chain of operation. You got an operation of just back busting. Like, what are y'all like? It's not, bro. You 50. Can you even get up that much, bro? Like, you that turned on? Like, bro, baby oil? People use baby oil and shit. Well, see, that's a whole nother situation.
Jay-Z's name has already popped up in leaked phone call. So who's to say he doesn't know way more than he's letting on?
That's a whole nother community. They got their own little. I was like, baby oil. I was like, what baby oil for? What you rubbing each other down, getting shiny and shit? Then it hit me. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. My boy was loose with it. But no, man. Prayers to Diddy, man. Prayers to him, man. You know, I don't want to kick him out. I'm just ain't that kind of dude. I'm getting mine. Like I say, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. It's a lot of Bible passages that pass through this dude's life that was it whatever in the dark shall come to the light. That's one we living out right now. It's one he living out more than us. Because for so long, you got to imagine having that money and that power, secrets. He's literally assaulting men. You get what I mean? Like, it may be common nowadays, but for a man to walk up and slap your ass or let me get your number or come to my hotel room, that's not normal. I ain't never heard no shit like that in my lifetime for no man to approach you like that. And he's done it several times. I just pray for his daughters, man. And all the people around him who was protected for so long, you got to come outside right now. The Stevie J's, you still want to fight? You still want to fight, Stevie J? To put up the Notre Dame dudes. You still want to fight 50, homie? I don't think so. Now, y'all, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, back to what I was saying about, that's why they act so tough. They act so tough because they know it's whispers about them. So when I see you in person, I got to show you, I'll f you up. I'm gangster. I'm this and that. That's an act, man. Real gangster can see through all that shit. All I say is Puffy should have just lived his life, man. You still could have been on top of the world, enjoy you. It's a world full of love. What's wrong with you living a world full of love? Even if you loving men, you full of love, bro. You ain't gotta try to come over here and maintain a character that force you to
get right into it, man. Diddy, his house got raided. How you feel about that?
Well, I think that the authorities came up with enough evidence to go into a judge by using the civil cases that has came upon him. So because they used the civil cases and found that there was some criminal activity that may have been found at some one of those people who, like Cassie, Jonathan Odie didn't have a civil case against him, but Cassie, Jonathan Odie, and Lil Rob, they used the evidence that they had or the statements they made and convinced the judge that there was enough probable cause to go in there with a search warrant. But the way they did the search warrant and how they did it, man, I thought he was El Chapo or somebody. You know, they took a tactical team in there, brother. They had tactical units. You understand? And it was for allegedly a sex crime. But they took, yo, my man, did you see the artillery and the way the Homeland Security came in there? My man, you would have swore, you know, it was going to be some gun violence up in there, how they came to it. So my feeling of it is that enough statements have been made that they could probably prove. They did enough investigation. See, people think that when the federal government go in there on you, the reason they got a 99% conviction rate because most people say, they got me. They don't go to court with them. So for them to have a team in New York, because they didn't really mention too much about New York. They had property in New York, property in Miami, and a property in LA, all simultaneously hit. Those different agencies had to get together, plan that.
Then there's Stevie J, who was in Diddy's inner circle during the Bad Boy era. If anyone knows what went down behind closed doors, it's Stevie. He was part of that world before he made his name on reality TV. You don't spend years working with someone like Diddy without getting a peek behind the curtain.
And that's not no bull. You know, that's a lot of manpower, a lot of money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayer. The taxpayer's gonna know why you spending my money on this to come up with nothing. So you best believe they had something in the first place to go up in there, either through, like I said before, wiretaps. You understand? Because if they convinced the judge that they need a warrant, they had wiretaps, surveillance, and different things that was going on. And then, like, it's a lot of crazy statements that have been made. And you got to look at that interview that Jonathan Odie did, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That was probably more damaging than Cassie. And that was more damaging than Cassie. Because check this out. He said Diddy was transporting liquid cocaine on his private jet. Now, the DEA wasn't involved in this. It was the FBI and the Homeland Security, basically. That's because of the sex trafficking thing. But if they find any of that stuff in any one of his houses, there's a problem. Even if they find illegal guns, the constitutional right goes the right to bear arms, but he got to have licenses for that. So if anybody got illegal guns up in there, if they find any kind of drugs to a high amount, cocaine and weed, I don't think Diddy gonna get charged because what he did, he put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Did you see the video of his kids in handcuffs?
Yeah. That's a tactical thing. The kids being in handcuffs is a tactical thing that law enforcement use, you understand, hoping that people who've never been in handcuffs before, that it either scares them or want to make them talk. There's no reason after they searched those kids, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies. They had a search warrant for like materials, laptops, telephones, logs, pictures, tapes. You know, that's what they search warrant is for. They didn't have a search warrant for bodies. So those kids, when they came out, they should have searched them. And then, yo, listen, y'all sit down right there. That was a tactical move to get them to talk and to scare them into saying something, you know, by keeping them handcuffed like that. They didn't have to do those kids like that. None of those kids have, that I know of, criminal cases against them or known for criminal activity. So there was no reason for them to do that. If them was the damn Rockefellers or somebody else, they wouldn't have had their kids handcuffed like that. But you got to realize their father has painted a crazy picture to the authorities. You understand? It's a crazy picture and people don't realize this, brother. First and foremost, Puff has been dodging the legal system for years. His affiliation with BMF, even though Meech has said that Puff never did anything, Puff never been around her, they still was partying together. So in the authorities' mind, they feel like Puff knew what Meech was doing. Then with the introduction to Jacob and different people, and a lot of people going to jail for money laundering and stuff like that, Puff being, and this is documented, Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. I said this years ago that Kim and Kirk Burroughs took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI and stuff like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI. You understand? Now,
all these celebrities have kept their lips sealed, at least publicly, but you know there's got to be some dark secrets locked up tight in those circles.
What happens? He don't have that. The guy probably, that was 20, 30 years, 20 some years ago. The guy probably retired. Puff ain't dealing with him. No, he didn't pass Puff on or something like that. So now, Puff been dodging the legal system with the people had it wrong. They think it was with the Black Mafia family. No, it was with Butt Naked. I said this years ago. The person that he said is a senior advisor, Corey Jacobs. Corey had 9 16-to-life sentences for drug trafficking. You make him your senior advisor, even though that was your man, he coming home. That's your man, pots and pans. But Wolf was the one who took care of them when they was away. You know what I'm saying? Wolf was the one who took care of them. So now, you got all these, these characters, around you. What they gonna think when they come to your house? They got the evidence, or they had statements that you blew up Kid Cudi's car. You understand what I'm saying? They have statements that, you may have been affiliated with people being shot. So they come to your house like this. They treat your kids like this. Based on the picture you have played to the authorities. So them having his kids like that, I think that was wrong. After they searched those kids, make sure they didn't have no weapons on them, sit them down on the ground, make them feel comfortable, because at this time, they're not criminals. They haven't committed any crimes.
I see. Speaking of drugs, right? Because you made a comment about it earlier. How you feel about Diddy's drug mule getting arrested?
The news about them arresting the mule, now, they're going to have to prove that. Now, if that guy becomes a witness, and if they can track anything back to Puff with that, that's going to be one of their star witnesses.
Damn.
Because, see, they will give him leniency. They were like, yo, listen, man, hey, buddy, listen here. We don't really want you. We know you was just doing this to, you were doing this to take care of your family, feed your moms. You know what I'm saying? Pay your rent. We know that. This guy's living out in this mansion, using you. Then that guy becomes a star witness.
Be a monster, because you want to be on top. You want to control monsters. You want gangsters to respect you. You still want to be able to slap a nigga in his mouth. You can't do both. You can't do both. You can't be a gangster. You can't be Omar from The Wire, bro. Like, you're not that. And it backfired on my boy. Like I say, it's a lot coming out, boy. Check out, it's a rapper coming out with a documentary, and when it come out, everybody gonna be fucking surprised. I think that's gonna be the shocker right there. I heard some shit. I was hearing shit. And as it was being presented to me, man, I don't know how to feel sorry for people all the time, but at that moment I was like, damn, bro, because I was in the same situation. And what if he, you know, ever would have came at me like that? I'd probably be dead or, you know, anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't no telling how I would have reacted. But I pray.
What did you hear? You don't have to say the guy's name, but
it's kind of hard to explain because then you're gonna figure out who I'm talking about. But I was also on the phone with somebody, right? And we was discussing, and he was telling me, I was like, you know, that nigga don't like you. He hated your guts, and y'all became friends. He said, man, I want to tell you something, man. He said, I never told nobody this because it ain't my motherfucking business. He was like, I'm just trying to feed my motherfucking kids. And he was like, he's like, man, such and such one night.
Whether it's out of loyalty, fear, or straight up self-preservation, they've managed to stay quiet so far.
You know, I remember when we was, I'm like, yeah, he's like, man, somebody had wanted me to go, you know, deliver a message. It was important. Like I had to do it. And I kept telling the person that Puffy busy. It's like, oh, he need to go tell him right now. He said, long story short, I went to the security guard. I told him how important it was. He let me in the room. And when I came in the room, I seen Puffy busting. They was getting it in. And he said, that's kind of like why, he said, and I never sprayed his secret. He said, and that's kind of like why I got to, you know, like, I can't even say it because you're going to know what I'm talking about. But he just told me, like, that's why everything started falling for me. Everything started happening good with me. That's why me and his relationship still cool. But I want to know from the Bentleys. I want to know, like, I don't want to put these people, because these people got kids, like, but I would love for them to just, you know, take the time to get that clarity, bro. Like, when I cried about my financial situations, that shit helped me a lot. It changed my life, actually. Like, I was in a suicidal state, and sometimes we just need people to hear us. So if they going through something, I advise them to just get with somebody. And it's not about filing lawsuits or trying to be seen. It's just about having that therapeutic moment, that cleansing, that clarity, and getting that shit out your system. That's assault. And he done it for so many years and got away with it. Like years. Like it became behavior. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like a once a month thing. It was a lifestyle. He was a monster in real life. And I knew about this stuff. But you can't prove it, and it's not my job to fucking try to bash Puffy, because where I was coming from was a place of hate. So everything I said would have been taken, but I knew it was coming. You go back to my old interviews. All this stuff that's coming out right now, I'm so happy. It's more. It's more. But I'm so happy it finally came out. A lot of stuff people don't understand Puffy endured. A lot of stuff Puffy went through when he was younger. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I say, when this DVD come out, y'all check it out, man. You know, we watched the icon fall, and a lot of people don't understand. It's like a changing of the guards. That's all it is. Like, they stayed around, they played the game a little too long. And this is how God works. It's like hip hop is independent. You know, the music is independent. The owning of your masters is independent. It's a new changing of the guard. And all the old parasites is just falling off one by one. Because they never had talent. They just leashed on to the talent. Let me tell you what Puffy was. And what a lot of them is. They mediators. What they call them, mediators, right? Where you gotta go, they go-betweens. So you got the Leos who scared to approach the thugs like that. But Diddy from that world, so I could intermediate. I could get percentages from negotiating and making this deal, but you got to give up that butt. You got to give up that butt and royalties. And I can change your family life. Know why? Because he had to give up that butt. People don't understand. That's the reason. That's why it's the reason Puffy don't want to give nobody, any artist he deal with, he'll tell you, I'm make it hard for you. I had to do this. He wants you to endure what he endured. And I felt bad in a sense because he was only trying to feed his family. You get what I'm saying? And he became a victim, and it turned him into a monster just trying to hide his own secrets and not living his truth. And now he in prison just from all this comes from one man not living his truth. I swear to God. Had Puffy just been who he is at heart, it might have been a few jokes. We joked about RuPaul. He's still a boss. You get what I'm saying? I feel bad for the people that got hurt trying to hide his secrets. All the people that been victimized, all the people that been put under the influence so they don't remember certain things because of who he is. And as long as you're under the influence, it ruins your credibility of speaking about anything. So I can understand why he probably kept drugs in the party. You get what I'm saying? All this behavior falls in line behind one thing, trying to hide secrets. So now you gotta use this to cover that. And now this makes you cover for that. And it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It never stops. It's a cycle. That's why I don't live in fear. I don't hide secrets. I'm not scared of nobody. I don't do none of that. I live for God.
When it comes to Diddy's alleged criminal empire, it's likely that a lot of celebrities could know way more than they've let on. We're talking about people who have been around him for years, either through the music industry.
Man, you live that way, your ass ain't got to worry about nothing. You know one thing that's crazy to me though, because I know him, is me picturing them in the cell. And that made me feel a little bad. That's the only thing. Like, I don't like the nigga or whatever. I still got love for the nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be in here right now if it wasn't for that dude. Regardless of what, it was 40,000 people. He had to hear something from me. He had to hear my talent. He had to pick me out. He had to learn my personality. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always easy to deal with me every day too. They used to have shit on the motherfucking refrigerator. We had like notes of what people, when people come in the house, they'll know, you know, what to deal with or whatever. On the notes, they'll be like, let Fred sleep an extra 45 minutes. Like, this nigga is like, cause when I woke up, you know, I had a bad attitude and I used to get up or whatever, but they done did too much. They did a lot to help me get where I ain't gonna say where I'm at in life, cause really it's like, where am I? I'm 40, I don't own the properties or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And people don't understand, why you blaming Puffy? I'm not blaming Puffy, I can't get time back. I dedicated my time to a situation to provide for my family, which I'm talking about when I was into it. I never went home like everybody got to go home on the weekends. I was the furthest away. So I was really dedicated to changing my situation. I was really dedicated and showed love to a person who I felt like in the end what I learned was only playing with us, and it made me react a certain way. But that don't mean I hate him.
Drink at his head. And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He's
putting people on blast.
DJs aren't supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them. I put him to sleep.
Next day, right?
Yeah.
You put the drink on his head.
But just to let you guys know, just FYI, they're not just coming for Diddy, Pat. Okay, this is, you guys heard it, Feds and Homeland Security, okay? And the last time, the only thing I'm worried about, Tom, not worried, but I mean, it is what it is. He's in this prison, this jail. They're begging for him to come out. One of the reasons the judge won't let him come out is because he's dangerous. He'll have people go after these witnesses. And this is, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if, God forbid, something happens to this guy while he's in prison. Because we've seen people that have these cameras set up in houses and high-profile people that have been recorded. They're panicking right now.
Well, I was looking at interest rates and doing a lot of things the last couple of days. So, no, really, I wasn't diving into the story and reading everything I could on it. But I saw a couple of clips yesterday on the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. And the Breakfast Club were talking about this is just the beginning, that there's 2 other big names and like 7 other people that are going to come, that are going to also end up in front of the judge on this.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's crazy. And if this is the way it was operating, then this is finally #MeToo coming to the music industry after it walked through the other side of the media industry, and Les Moonves and Harvey Weinstein and everybody had their moment. Now Diddy's going to have his moment. And apparently, it's the biggest and most salacious moment of all.
And they're saying his Christina Coram, his Combs chief of staff. She's probably going to be one of the main witnesses in the probe, and she was a huge member of his team. And they're dubbing her online as the Ghislaine Maxwell, the right hand, dubbed as his gatekeeper. So I don't see him. The fact that the judge won't give him the $50 million bail to come out, it's not good.
It's Al Capone's accountant all over again, right? It's somebody close to the big guy.
Yeah. Speaking of Al Capone, I actually have a question for PBD because, there's two things that they said in this thing right here. They said he's denied bail after pleading not guilty to sex trafficking.
Yep.
And then the other thing was racketeering charges. We've seen what's going on with the sex trafficking, that he's in jail. He's literally in jail right now. He's denied bail. Diddy's famous lines, take that. I don't know what's going on in jail right now, but hopefully it's not
he probably loving that, right, Deli?
We'll see what happens there. But the racketeering thing, you've interviewed Sammy the Bull and Michael Francis, and the list goes on and on and all. The whole RICO charges, the whole concept of racketeering is that you're in an illegitimate business, basically disguising as a real business, but it's actually fraudulent, bribery, extortion, fraud, money laundering, drug trafficking, embezzlement. What's the RICO? What's the racketeering in your opinion of what could potentially be going on with Diddy, just based on everyone you've interviewed?
Well, there's so many categories to it, right? You get to pick and choose. They get to pick and choose.
Sure.
The way they wrote this law allows them to go after people for different reasons. Okay, you pick and choose which one this is. He's in most of them.
Yeah,
he's in most of them. If you think about it, right, with the stories that's coming up. By the way, think about so Stephen A. Smith yesterday is doing a show with another guy that they have on, and the other guy says, this isn't just about Diddy. Diddy's life is on the line right now, and people, it's just at any point anything could happen to him. Forget about the fact that he's got a lot of risk on the line. Think about him. The comparison with him and Epstein, right? Here's a story. Meet Sean Diddy Combs' manipulator-in-chief, who was once compared to Ghislaine Maxwell.
They called him the Black Epstein.
Let me read this to you.
Please. Find that picture.
Christina Coram, chief of staff at Combs Enterprises and described as Diddy as his right hand, is alleged to be the manipulator-in-chief in federal investigation. As close source claims she knows everything about Combs' alleged sex trafficking activities. Although she's not been arrested or charged, the federal indictment accuses Combs of using high-ranking supervisors to facilitate and cover up the abuse, with Karam allegedly organizing freak-offs involving sex workers and raids on Diddy's mansions, seized narcotics with over 1,000 bottles.
Mary J. Blige. She was a key figure in Diddy's early career. They've been close for years, and she was often present at events and parties where anything could have gone down. People that close to him definitely heard something.
In a separate lawsuit, Little Rod, Karam is compared to Ghislaine Maxwell, to Sean Combs, Jeffrey Epstein, and accused of ordering sex workers for Combs. Little Rod also alleges she made staff carry drugs for Combs. Okay. At this point, everyone knows Diddy's done. This isn't about Diddy. This is about anybody and everybody that went to that house or the other one, LA or Miami, that did anything after having 3, 4, 5 drinks, and you went to a room and you don't know what happened. You don't know what's recorded. Those guys who went to those parties, they're all calling each other.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
They're all calling each other saying, oh, shit.
Dude, you were at that party, right? Yeah.
And you know what's going to, and by the way, all the people that are calling each other, then there is the last call. You know what the last call is? Who you're calling? Nobody. It's you and yourself. Ooh. You're calling yourself and you're saying, oh, man, it's just you and Diddy. And an imaginative conversation that you're having. Because Diddy's got the tape of what you did.
Oh, my goodness.
So imagine those politicians, the athletes. LeBron's partied there many times.
Oh, he's hung out with Barack Obama and everybody.
Exactly. Imagine those guys who are sitting there saying, hey, we have to get those tapes at all cost, ASAP. Then, when they say, we have to get the tapes at all cost, here's the question. Who is we?
Yeah.
Who is we when you say we have to get the tapes? Who's we?
And what is the cost?
We is who?
At all costs.
But hang on a second. Who is we?
All the people, all the higher ups that
but who is we? Like let's just say all these Usher, all these people that have been to the freak off party. Do you have a clip of Usher at the freak off party, Rob, and what he says?
Well, here he is talking about living with
this when he was a teen. Don't worry about this one. Yeah. But so all these people that went there, right? So, when they say those people have the clip, say it's because this is typically how it will happen. let's say this is one of the faces of the NBA.
Okay.
You're one of the faces of Hollywood.
Okay.
He's an incredible political leader on the left or the right or whoever, right?
Okay.
That person's a famous lawyer. This person's a singer. That person's a pastor. Say they have those clips. Number one, let's just go through it. If they have those clips. Number two, then they say who talks on their behalf.
Yeah, the lawyers, their people.
If he's a celebrity, who talks on their behalf? Their agent, their lawyer.
Yeah.
So now who knows?
Agent, lawyer, publicist, all these people.
So now who owns you?
Oh my God, all of them.
Your agent, lawyer.
Yeah.
The agent, lawyer who say, we have to get these tapes. And they get on that call. Who are the we that gets the tapes? Who gets the tapes? It's not the agent and the lawyer who gets the tapes.
It's not the person.
Who gets the tapes? Who took this? Who went to this guy's house?
The feds.
The feds get the tapes. Mm-hmm. So now who knows? Agent, manager, publicist, lawyer, fed. Once those guys have it, for the rest of your life, your loyalty is to them.
Wow.
You're owned.
That's it.
You have two choices. Either the public, your kids, your family knowing, or you're doing whatever they tell you to do. There is no arguments. I don't know if I'm painting a picture clear enough for you.
You painted it perfect because it's all like the levels of like you're cooked. You can't do. And now here's the thing: they have it. Even if the FBI has all these tapes, God knows. Because remember when the first time it happened, Tommy got on the private. Well, he wasn't on the private jet. They filled that private jet and it flew somewhere else. Remember?
Yeah,
it landed somewhere, Turks and Caicos or wherever the hell it is. But going even deeper, Pat. Like now that he's in there. There's a possibility that he might talk. So like you said, there's a possibility that something's going to happen to him while he's locked up. Remember what happened with Epstein? The cameras didn't work. Security was lax. He hanged himself, whatever. And then that girl, the girl that hasn't been arrested, you think she's feeling safe right now? His gatekeeper, Karam, what's her name? Christina Karam. She has to watch herself too. Because I'm guaranteeing they're talking to her. They're going to say, you won't go to jail if you tell us everything.
Well, I want to know what the second and third arrest is because racketeering requires it is an organization and a pattern. That's what's in RICO. That's why you get the mob. Multiple people selling drugs over and over again, importing illegal alcohol without tax stamps, which is big in South Florida even to this day.
That's what they call it,
the rum.
Organized crime.
Correct. So it's like, so the question is, who else is going to be arrested? Because if he's being charged with racketeering, who else is in the racket? There's at least one other person. So it's at least two, and it's a pattern.
Well, just look at the Epstein example. It was him and Ghislaine Maxwell. It could have just been Diddy and this Christina Karam, chief of staff of Freak-a-Leak Enterprises out here.
And everybody else, let's say there was 5 in Epstein. Let's say there was 5. Those other 3 are informants now, and they're not charged, and we won't know their names.
Well, Pat, you remember what we learned about, what was it, his last name was Black? Leon Black?
Yeah, Leon Black.
Why did he pay hundreds of millions of dollars of fees?
Estate planning.
Right, when you should have paid $10 million maybe?
So by the way,
he had something on
by
him,
the way,
potentially.
This is why he walks around as if he owns everybody. Huh. You ever seen the movie with Sean Penn? Who is he playing? He's playing that criminal in LA where he's at the top of that one building. Who's he playing, Rob? You know what the movie is. Sean Penn, the freaking sick
Not Benny
movie.
Blanco from the Bronx.
Benny Blanco. No, Sean Penn. He was a lawyer in that Benny Blanco. Sean Penn plays the criminal. He was a crime boss. He moved from Chicago to... Guys, you know this movie. Not Mystic River. What is the movie that
Gangster Squad?
Gangster Squad, okay? So Gangster Squad, let me see, Gangster Squad. Do you remember how Gangster Squad ends?
No, I don't remember this.
Have you guys ever seen this movie? Vinny?
No,
I think you might have told me to watch it.
Don't show. No, we can't show this stuff. No, pause it. No, meaning like, Rob, we can't show it to the audience.
They didn't show.
So Gangster Squad is the story of Mickey Cohen.
Huh.
Mickey Cohen was a boss and a half.
Oh, really?
But Mickey Cohen owned all the judges, all the cops, everybody, until one flippin' annoying cop, he could no longer.
We'd love to hear what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.